Good morning, Cougar Country. It's John Chandler, your athletic director, here for another episode of the ALX Press Box. This morning, I'm here with Brandon Rogers from Varsity News Network. How you doing, Brandon?
Good. How are you, Coach?
Man, I'm good. I'm living the dream, trying to stay busy here, and just trying to make things happen in Cougar Country. Man, what are you up to?
A little same. Trying to help out my schools here with so much downtime as far as no sports going on. I'm trying to follow up with a lot of my athletic directors and coaches and get them more trained on the website. Not that they have a lot of free time right now, but I know that folks do have a little bit more time on their hands, and I'm looking at it as an opportunity to talk to new schools about what we offer and reconnect with my current schools and kind of take them next level. Kind of get them where you've gotten yourself with your website. You've done a tremendous job so far.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I have a motto. If something new comes along, I'm gonna jump off the cliff and build a parachute on the way down.
That's awesome.
So check it, man. Let's dig in a little bit, and I just kind of wanted you to first tell us what VNN and Varsity News Network. What is that? What's VNN?
We are trying to help high schools across the board with their athletics program as far as communicating with their community, communicating with their coaches, their parents, their players, helping them with social medias, helping them with just basically kind of catching them up to 2020 technology. And it's all centered around a collegiate ESPN quality website. I like to say that we're building a big new house for a school, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles you'd want in a new house. And what we're doing is we're building a room in the house for every sport of the school. It's not just for certain sports. It's every sport that's within a high school, from football all the way down to, junior varsity flag football, which is obviously a new sport here in Georgia. So we fully facilitate the website. We offer ongoing training and support. We're not a website company. All we do is work with high school athletic departments. We don't do any colleges or little league teams or anything along those lines. And we're basically trying to take them to the next level, to where if you, I'm a Georgia grad, as you can see in the background. I know that my website is georgiadogs.com. And so we're trying to get it to where a school can have a branded website so they can forward it on and easily tell people, go to our website and you'll find everything you needed to find about athletics here at the high school. We started we're based out of Michigan, and the guy that started it was doing some reporting on football up in Michigan, and he kept going to the school's websites to try to find out who that number 12 guy was or who that number 56 linebacker was. And he'd go to these schools, the school sites, and he wasn't finding any information, or he found a site that was just for football and he couldn't find basketball information. And so that's kind of where the old light bulb went off about 7 years ago. And he said, I need to start helping these folks with their online presence. And then it led eventually to connecting social medias and Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth.
Right. So let me set a little background for you. My aim in this episode, guys, is to make sure you understand what product is being offered. This is not a paid advertisement. This is genuine from Chandler to other athletic directors or interested parties to learn about this tool. I am never an easy sell when it comes to technology, because I strongly am leery of, oh my God, that's new. Watch this, that's neat. That doesn't work on me. I like technology. I love technology, but I like for it to have a purpose. And, I remember getting the email from you and, saying, hey, check this website out. We can do this. And I was like, man, I've been looking for a solution to communicating pretty much in one medium, and then that information travels to various other mediums. And that was pretty much my biggest selling point, was the fact that I didn't have to post our schedule on Twitter and then post it again on Facebook and then post, posting all over the place. And then, you know, when parents are asking me, well, where can I find this information about physicals and whatever, and they're having to go to our school website and then click around a few times to get to the athletic website, it's just, you know, there's value in each click. And too many clicks can make an interested party lose interest. So, and I think that's what captured my attention about VNN. Is that about, you know, pretty much what our conversation was like when we met?
Yeah, absolutely. I know one of the things that when we met, you gave me a little bit of background about your not necessarily coming from a full-scale athletics background, and I found that to be very intriguing because I know a lot of coaches and so forth, they're kind of laser focused on their team and their sport specifically. And that's the idea behind this, is you want to have everything under one umbrella. So if the football team has a booster site or the volleyball team has a booster site, that's wonderful. We can direct them from the website, the main athletic site, to those pages. Right. But what we want to be able to do is, and in your case already, when you Google Alexander High School Athletics, our site's the very top of the page. And that's the case with all of our schools. We've passed max preps and a lot of those listings that used to occur. And so, especially for a parent that may have 3 kids playing 5 sports, they don't want to have to jump around to 6 different websites to get their information. They want to be able to go to one spot, gather all their information, see the scores. Because at the end of the day, what parents want, they want to know what time the game is, if the game time has changed or anything's happened on that, and they like seeing coverage of their kids, whether it be pictures, photos, they're mentioned in a press box score, so on and so forth. So we feel, I've been doing this year is 5 years. I've been doing this here in Georgia. We had about 12 schools when I started 5 years ago, and I just recently signed Upson Lee and Pickens County and several others that I'm well over 120 schools now. So once again, have everything under one umbrella, make it easier for the parents to go and access the information. And at the end of the day, when it's fully up and running and focused on the athletics, it's a beautiful thing because, this is not a paid advertisement on your end either, but you're doing an outstanding job with the coverage. And I'm sure you've heard from the parents how appreciative they are for not only the information, but the coverage of their kids.
Absolutely. You know, one of the biggest things that I have the unique opportunity to, although I'm the athletic director, most of the athletic directors in the world pretty much are assistant principals or administrators of some type. But there are, a few school districts who do it a little bit different and have, I would probably more easily describe it as like a teacher on special assignment type, where they're not necessarily teachers of, teaching classes, but they're not administrators. And so I have the luxury of coming into Alexander High School, which in my mind was, the Royal Caribbean's finest ship. And the principal, Chris Small, just kind of handed me the keys and said, man, look, the athletic department is going to get the notoriety, but I also need our extracurriculars to get some love also. And I was like, well, hey, who better to do that than a band guy? So, I'm trying to sneak clubs and organizations and, the band, the chorus, the creative writing club, things like that into the mix. And I'm using my VNN site as a vehicle for that. And so what this enables me to do is to kind of, like you said, I can put any team or club on there that I want, and they have their own house. And so what my mission has been so far is to basically, every time somebody competes or participates in something, and I try to give them a little graphic. And that, as with technology resources and anything that we often read with our eyes first, like we eat with our eyes first. And so your partnership with Box Out Sports has really been the attention grabber with the graphics, where we can just kind of make like almost a plan, like a collector's card for a kid and say, hey, let's highlight this player, or here's a score with a motion graphic on it. And then they want to know more about the game. So that partnership has been critical for me in catching people's attention. And that was the vehicle that got my coaches involved to say, man, I'm ready to start telling the story about my team. How do I get signed up? So I'm like, great, this is exactly what I wanted to happen, was myself to create a buzz, and then my coaches to say, I'm ready to do it. And this is exactly what you said was gonna happen, man. You overpromised and actually over-delivered too. And that, you don't usually get the two and wrapped in one.
I've always said that when this is working, when it works, when it's fully implemented, and people follow our lead, and we can show you what to do at any school, whether it's the single A school or the biggest school in the country, is that it's going to fully facilitate everything you need. Usually at the end of the day, usually it's going to save you time, it's going to save you effort, it's going to save you money. And you mentioned the visual aspects of posting and online and articles and stuff like that. When we first started with Box Out a couple of years ago, is 40%. A tweet, Facebook post, anything along those lines is 40% more likely to be retweeted or re-forwarded or resent if it's got some sort of an image.
Mm-hmm.
The in-game score or the final score of saying that the baseball team won 3-2. That's great. That's information. But when you have a picture of the kids celebrating at home plate or in the dugout or just a general picture, once again, it's more likely to get forwarded. And then when you attach that picture of the kids celebrating, it's going to file in your photo gallery and be there forever and ever. So
that's great.
Go and access those photos too.
Just making those keepsakes for the kids, and then that story that we can write about it, is real critical too. So Douglas County High School in my district is also one of our VNN partners, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Travis Smith is their AD, and he's kind of been guiding me through this process in the county. Do you have any other schools in Douglas County? I know we got Lithia Springs, New Manchester, and Chapel Hill. Are those guys on board yet?
I always use the word not yet.
Not yet.
That's two words, actually. Not yet. It's just a matter of, a lot of these schools are fully aware of us. They think that our price they look at what we do and what we offer, and they think our price is going to be out through the roof.
It's not. It's really not.
In some cases, it's it's just different in every school. And some schools have a wonderful arrangement on their county site, but county sites and school sites are not built to support athletics. Bottom line,
right?
So yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's just when. I hope to work with those schools.
Right. And so here, here's what I can say. I'm gonna present our website for a minute, just so we can kind of talk through some of the things you talked about, like the schedule, the scores. Of course, nobody's putting up scores yet. I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna pull that up so we can kind of talk through it. Let me know when you can see it, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So when I turned over the keys, my boys' golf coach wrote an article and published it. I was so thrilled, man. They finally were glad to get underway, and we kind of had like a 10-minute walkthrough of how to do it, and man, boom, there you go. And then we actually reached out to some of our partners in education to sponsor a monthly athlete of the month. And, I told him it could be an embedded article for a month. And, Anchor Heating and Air did one for us in February, and that one's there. And then, we just kind of have a lot more articles to go. But the other thing is I involved our yearbook staff, and I told their kids, if you write information, I think they call it copy. You write copy about, a story about a game, you can publish it to this site, and that's almost your living resume.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just lots of different ways to, access this information and leverage our resources to get kids something they're going to need forever too. But, like if I go to the calendar, this is kind of what Brandon was saying. Like, we put all our teams' schedules in, and it shows me what's going on for the whole week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then there's a feature called the press box, where I can enter the scores and do a game summary or whatever. And then, that kind of tells the story of the game. And then this is another feature now, athletic directors and principals all across America. This is not a paid interview with Brandon, but there's nothing like bringing in revenue. And these sponsors up here, like I didn't contact Life University. I think your team did that for us and secured some sponsors to advertise on our website. And this is what I mean by every click counts. The more clicks we get to the website, the more revenue is generated for our school. So it's just another way to benefit our students, right?
Yep.
And so, go ahead, Brandon, I cut you off.
I was going to say, it's one of those things, there's not many things in life where it's a win-win-win, but I truly look at, and I believe this with all my heart, that when this is up and running and facilitated correctly, it's a benefit to the school, it's a benefit to the coaches, it's a benefit to us because we've got another partner to show off to our other schools and to your community, and it's a benefit to the parents and the athletes because there's nothing worse than going to a website and you got old information, or you go to the XYZ high school baseball site and haven't updated in 3 years and along those lines. People aren't going to go back to that website, but when your parents have gone to the Alexander website, they're like, whoa, this is awesome.
Right.
They're going to bookmark it. They're going to bookmark it, and they're going to refer to it, and they're going to sign up. And if they're following on Facebook and Twitter, they're going to see that information replicated, and everything comes back to the website. So it's a win-win-win.
Here's my two biggest selling points for this product. A couple other vendors have reached out, and I'm like, hey, we kind of all in on being in. And here's my two reasons for rocking with y'all the long way like this is, one, I got your phone number in my cell phone and we communicate regularly. I mean, like you, Alex, Stephanie, I have y'all's numbers in my cell phone. And we, if I need something, I just reach out via text or call. And I texted you and said, hey, Brandon, can you be on my show? And you were like, yeah, man, let's hook it up.
Yeah, that was Saturday night.
That doesn't happen often where you get that kind of customer service and attentiveness. And I'm truly appreciative of that. And then two, you guys actually have your website tailored to look good on a cell phone.
Yep.
And that's critical because who uses a desktop or a laptop now? The main vehicle for accessing information is a cell phone. And the website looks like it's made for a cell phone when I pull it up on my cell phone.
Because it is. We switched to it's called a fully mobile optimized platform. That means it's going to fit to any device that you're on. No more zooming in to try to find spring, and then you got to zoom back in and click on baseball. Then you got to zoom back in and click on schedule, so on and so forth. It's an ADA compliant website, which means that anybody with any ADA physical disabilities, it'll fully adapt to that. It could translate into any language in the world. So that's what that little top right little globe looking feature is. And so I tell, one of my main selling points to an AD or to a school system is you're not just, once again, we're not a website company. We're not building a website and dropping it off your door. We only work with high schools. We only work with high school athletics. And you're not only hiring us for the website, but you've got an entire IT development, support, sales team that's going to be backing up the product, and we're going to be fully supporting that ongoing. If something new comes along or whatever needs to be tweaked or changing or the hot new thing in high school athletics, you betcha we're going to add it to our site. So you've got an IT department specifically tailored and set up for high school athletics. Whereas your most county IT departments, school IT, they've got a jillion other things to worry about other than the athletics website. So that's where we feel like we found our niche, and it's fun. I love it. There's nothing better than getting a site, seeing that brand new site roll off the conveyor belt, so to speak. When I first click, when I look at it, and then I send it to an AD and he sees it, it's the same reaction that the community gets. They're like, wow, this is cool.
I think you probably quoting me on that because I know I said it. I was like, man, this exceeded my expectations. I was like, okay, I could visualize what I would do with it, but I certainly had no idea it would look as appealing as it did and be as easy to navigate as you promised. So I'm really appreciative. You know, I suffer from a severe not on my watch syndrome, and I aim to please my principal to make sure that we're putting out a product that our stakeholders can be proud of. I want our kids to be like, man, I want to be on the website. I want the parents to say, I'm going to the website because I might see my kid on there, or I know I can trust the information that's there. You know, I want my coaches to use it and say, I know if I put it here, everybody will get the information. And then, you know, ultimately, I want our superintendent to be proud of, you know, the image that we're putting out for the district. I want him to be proud of our efforts in saying our district is leading the way in making sure we're putting out a clean, very good, useful product that everybody can depend on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So Brandon, if ADs and coaches want to get in touch with you to start up a VNN website, what do they need to do?
My email is B as in Brandon Rogers, ROGERS at vnnsports.net, which is also our website, vnnsports.net. We're not just here in Georgia, we are nationally. When I started 5 years ago, we had about 600 schools nationally. Now we got over 4,000 schools nationally. So if you click on our website and you click on schools, it'll list every school by state. And yeah, I'd be happy to set up nowadays a webinar, a Zoom meeting on showing the AD the website. And I do that a lot of times anyway, because I've got schools from Thomasville all the way up to Dade County and everywhere in between. So there's sometimes where I might be able to get to an AD quicker online, even in regular times than trying to drive and meet them in person. But I like to do most things in person. But the beauty of technology, being in the technology world, is I can present at any point to an AD. It takes about 30, 45 minutes, depending on the amount of questions, to fully show what I like to call the bells and whistles of the website. But once again, it's brogers at vnnsports.net. That's our website. And my cell phone number is 404-660-0672.
All right. Well, Brandon, man, I appreciate all that you've done to, you know, make our VNN website a hit and, you know, make it so easy. And more importantly, I appreciate your accessibility to me as an individual. I couldn't ask for a better, you know, connection, partnership, friendship. And I thank you so much for stopping by today, man.
Absolutely. This was fun. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So look for it. I'm going to publish it a little later. I'll make sure I tag you guys in it, and good luck, man. I hope this helps get everybody, you know, win-win-win situation.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, man. Take care, Brandon.
Thanks, Coach. Bye-bye.